Hello world, I'm LJ and this is LJ Goes Sweden. Today it's time for the first out of 2 supercharging tests in winter conditions. You can see the car right there. It is right now like around -1, -2 degrees, so it's not as cold as I wanted to. That's why we're gonna have a second part in the future. But let's get in the car because there it's a bit more comfortable to talk. Okay guys, so I have now de-iced the car. I actually turned on the climate controls to like 21.5 degrees because as you can see the car was pretty icy. Luckily it was not like very thick ice, just thin ice, but I got through like the whole windows and the windshield and also like of course the back window, the rear window. So now we are on 27% of the car's battery. I don't really know how much we're gonna have when we reach the charger. I was planning to be lower, but then I did something during the week. I was like charging a bit just to be sure that I make it home and also there now again. So I hope we arrive at the charger with around 20% and we charge it to 80%. The battery has a temperature of -2 to -1.5. We will check before we connect the car to the supercharger how much it has after 10 minutes of driving. I'm also gonna precondition the car now because in my opinion it would be super unrealistic if you don't precondition the car when you go to a supercharger. Of course this test is for people who don't have the ability to charge at home, but still you would always precondition your car even if it's just for like a few minutes. So this test is now part 1. If you want to see me really charge the car without preconditioning, we have part 2, hopefully when it's colder, but for now it is not that cold yet. We will see what happens in the future, but now let's get going to the supercharger. We have arrived at the supercharger. I am now currently at 23% state of charge, and in that 10 minutes the battery heated up to 2 to 3.5 degrees Celsius. We still have -1 degree outside right now. In 10 minutes the battery did not heat up to like 40-30 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely gonna be a long charging. I'm curious what numbers we're gonna reach. I think we're gonna be at 20-25 kilowatts that we're gonna have as charging speed, but let's see what we're gonna receive because I really don't have any clue right now. Now we are connected. Ooh, okay. Guys, there you go. 80% from 23 takes 1 hour and 25 minutes. We currently have 20 kilowatts charging speed. So exactly what I was guessing, because of course I already have some experience from not so warm charging in winter because I usually have to supercharge. We're gonna have an increase right now, 24 kilowatt. Of course the battery is now reheating at the same time, but still it says 1 hour and 25 minutes from 23% to 80%. I brought my laptop here, so I'm gonna actually learn some Swedish right now in the meantime. I'm well prepared, so it's not like gonna be the most boring charging session for me. And at the same time also, luckily the charger is not that busy, so I have time and I'm not blocking anyone. That's why I can luckily do this here very safely as well. So right now charging speed 21 kilowatt, and that even with the latest, like I think it was in the Christmas update or maybe the update before, where they actually increased charging speed in winter conditions. One thing that I also forgot, this is the standard range Model 3, so LFP battery, this is not NMC, and I don't really have a problem with that low charging speeds because that what I'm doing right now is not what I usually like would plan for. Usually if I have to charge the car in colder conditions, then I usually like try to have enough charge to do like my errands, I don't know, grocery shopping or go somewhere else, wherever, and do the charging at the end so that the battery is at least warmer than that, so that you have maybe even a chance to precondition. I'm gonna give you some updates when we reach certain values like 50% of charge. One thing I wanted to show you before is one thing that I really have to say got so much worse with the Christmas update, the efficiency diagram. I already had my complaints in one of the latest videos where I was actually wishing that they make it scalable so that you can like zoom in and zoom out. But the big issue is also, you see like there is no data. And that is due to the fact that the car has updated, and every time the car updates, it's gone. And that is so annoying in my opinion, especially because updates are coming out sometimes pretty quick, you know, like sometimes you have like 1 or 2 weeks between the updates. Like one is probably like the bigger one, then you have some bug fixes. But I don't drive most of the time 300 kilometers within 2 weeks, especially in winter. In summer might be the case, but not in winter. So I never even reach the full scale of like the efficiency before it resets. Yeah, I just don't like that. So what do you think about this thing? But now let's see each other back when we reach 50% of charge. Okay guys, it is 12:55 now. We have reached 50% of charge. However, check out the following. It says 30 minutes remaining to 80. We are currently charging with 43 kilowatts and we're at 51 now. In the beginning, when you checked, it said 1 hour and 20 or even 1 hour and 25. Now it's 12:56. In 30 minutes, it's not 1:40. It is more like 1:25. So that actually means that the charging speed is faster than what the car predicts, at least out of the current situation. So maybe in the end, it is not even an hour. But to reach 80, it is still like, 28%, and we have like 15 minutes. I don't think that is reachable, but still, we will see what happens. So I'm gonna talk to you again when we are reaching like 75%. I nearly forgot. What is the current temperature of the battery? We are now at 23 to 25.5 degrees Celsius. The battery has heated up pretty well. We're gonna check that temperature out again when we are around 75% state of charge, and then we will see how much it really took to charge the car at mild winter conditions, at least for northern Sweden. Okay guys, we have reached 75% state of charge. We are still charging with around 44 kilowatts, so not really any increase. Right now we have 4 minutes remaining to 80%. We are at 76, and if you look at the time, it's 1:18. So I think we are slightly above 1 hour. If you now do like the calculation from 20 to 80, it would add up a few more minutes. But I would say that charging from 20 to 80% would take around 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is still less than what the car predicted in the beginning. The other time, however, of course, this is a huge increase if you compare it to the charging speed in summer. And also, of course, with great preconditioning, because there, I would say it takes like 30 minutes. I have never timed it actually, to be honest, because I just never look at the time. Usually I just walk around and enjoy fresh air, or I just like do something in the car, but I never have this focus on time. So this is not really an issue for me. But maybe it's important for you to know that with the LFP battery in the Model 3, you have to expect slower, and especially if you have not preconditioned, way slower charging speeds than in summertime. So till 100%, the car now says 25 minutes. There it predicts not enough time. Especially like this last percent is usually like this calculating and really feeding the battery to the maximum, doing the calculation what is really 100%. That takes more time than you expect. I think like the first time when I did it, it took me like 15-20 minutes. We are at 97% right now, charging speed 41. There we go, 80% at 1:21 p.m. 33 to 35 degrees Celsius, so temperature has increased. So that is the result of this first charging test. Like I said, I'm still gonna charge another time when we have lower temperatures, and of course my battery also needs to be way lower so that I can fit it in my weekly schedule. I still have like a normal working schedule, so it's not possible that I can do it just randomly over the week. I would say that is the end of today's video. I hope that you could gain some information if you're planning to buy an LFP driven Tesla that is going to drive in colder conditions. But with that said, guys, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to buy a Tesla, feel free to use my affiliate link down in the description below. But now enough said, I hope you had a wonderful day. We're gonna see each other back in the next video, and with that said, bye bye.